Hey there, this is Darren LaCroix. I am here on YouTube Live with Game Changer Day 4 of 51. The gift and the question. The gift and the question. What? The gift and the question. So, if you're following along, the Game Changer Challenge is for 51 days. Come up with game changers from your life to pass on to other people, to help them, to inspire them, to learn from your experience. So, for me, the gift and the question. So, back in the 1990s, I had a Subway business that failed, and I had to sell the business at a loss. So not only did I sell it at a loss, but at the same time, I was still paying off school loans. So I had a business loan, selling it at a loss. So I was negative, as well as the school loans, as well as living at home with mom and dad, as well as being a telemarketer. That was my quote unquote, oh crap, what am I going to do now that my business failed job? And I was at such a low point. My buddy Jim Boland, one of my high school friends, gave me the gift of self-development. And he and his uncle and his dad were really into self-development, motivational tapes. And so they introduced me to that. And this was one of them from Brian Tracy called The Science of Self-Confidence. And I was driving down the road depressed, and I loved listening to these tapes because they inspired me, they encouraged me. And on that tape, Brian Tracy asked a question. He said, what would you dare to dream if you knew you wouldn't fail? What? If I wouldn't fail? I had never thought that way before. And I was driving down the road. I had to pull over to the side because this kind of like rocked me to the core. I thought, well, if I could do anything, I would make people laugh for a living. That would be the ultimate. Then all of a sudden, the little doubting voice on my shoulder said, but you're not funny, Darren, which was true, but that wasn't the question. The question was, what would you dare to dream if you knew you wouldn't fail? Man, it was so cool. It was a game changer for me. It wasn't a dream to become a comedian. I didn't even know what a speaker was at the time. And I really never thought I could be a comedian, but I said, you know what? I can't live my life with the regret of wondering, what if? What if I could? What would that be like? I said, I just can't live with that regret. I'm at such a low point. And it was motivating for me. I was pretty psyched and pretty inspired by it. But I just couldn't live with it. So I decided that I was going to ask a comedian for advice. Now, at that point, I had never been in a comedy club in my life, ever. And so I decided to ask a comedian, ask someone who is where you want to be. So I went to this little comedy club in Worcester, Massachusetts, and the headliner that night, his name was Chris McGuire. He was quite approachable, thank God, because I was so shy and so quiet that I didn't exactly come across as an extrovert, hyper introvert. So I walked up to him and mustered up all the courage I could, and I said, hi, my name is Darren. I want to try this. What do I need to do? And he asked me a question. He said, are you funny? And I said, no. He said, good. I'm like, what do you mean good? He went on to explain that people were naturally funny, of class clowns. He said if you handed them a microphone and put them in front of a group of 100 strangers, they couldn't make them laugh. Huh. He said, but let me tell you, that skill set can be learned. What? He gave me an ounce of hope. And so through a series of all these things that I went through, it became inspirational. It became a game changer. I had no idea how much of a game changer that one question would be, but it changed the trajectory of my life. So, how about you? I'd love you to join me in this Game Changer Challenge. 51 days, 51 game changers from your life. And that might seem like a lot. I don't have all of mine written down. When I get an idea of what could be a game changer, I write it down. So maybe it's people, maybe it's principles, maybe it's a lesson you learned the hard way. But what were the game changers in your life who made you who you are today? So I encourage you, join me for the Game Changer Challenge. And we'll see you tomorrow for number 5. I don't even know what that will be yet. See ya.